States across the U.S. are joining forces to hold social media app TikTok accountable for its addictive content. A bipartisan group of 14 state attorneys general filed a lawsuit today alleging that TikTok violates consumer protection laws and exploits young users. The lawsuit says TikTok is designed to keep children on the app for as long as possible, despite the dangers of that compulsive use. CBS News senior business and technology correspondent Jolene Kent joins us live now. Jolene, thanks for so much for being with us. What's the argument against TikTok, and how does the lawsuit claim it exploits children?
Well, let's be clear. This is multiple lawsuits coming from individual states' attorney general filed in state court. The idea here is each of these attorneys general are working together under the leadership of California Attorney General Rob Bonta and Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York. And what they're doing is they're coming together to go after TikTok, saying that the algorithm is addictive and the content is harmful and the product is specifically designed to harm children and create a profit off of that. So what we've heard is, so far in California, this has been filed in Santa Clara County Superior Court, and the action alleges that TikTok exploits and harms young users and deceives the public about the social media platform's actual dangers here. AG Bonta today saying in a statement, our investigation has revealed that TikTok cultivates social media addiction to boost corporate profits. TikTok intentionally targets, he says, children because they know kids do not yet have the defenses or capacity to create healthy boundaries around addictive content. Now, of course, we wanted to get TikTok's response to this lawsuit. It is it's a dozen lawsuits in a spate of lawsuits over the past several years against TikTok. TikTok's spokesperson coming out with a statement this morning saying, in part, we strongly disagree with these claims, many of which we believe to be inaccurate and misleading. TikTok goes on to say, we provide robust safeguards, proactively remove suspected underage users, and we have voluntarily launched safety features such as default screen time limits, family pairing, privacy by default for minors under 16. They say that they were trying to work with these state AGs for 2 years, and TikTok calls it incredibly disappointing that they have reached this point in this crossroads. So what we know, though, in terms of zooming out in the broader context, is that this is one of many lawsuits that TikTok, Meta, and others are facing from not just federal courts now, but they're also facing them in state courts. The idea, according to sources familiar with these lawsuits, they're telling us that the idea is not only to try to change laws locally and federally to help kids, but also to go after these companies to seek injunctive relief and other types of action to stop what they say, what they allege is harmful behavior against children.
Now, Jolene, if TikTok loses this legal battle, what consequences might the company face? Would they have to change their algorithm?
Well, there's a lot going on with TikTok that is beyond just this lawsuit, right? So first of all, this lawsuit is going to take years. The soonest we would probably see this, say, the California version of this lawsuit in court, possibly early 2026, according to a source directly familiar with the situation. And so there's going to be a lot of litigation leading up to any possible trial. The bigger picture, though, of course, is that President Biden back in April signed a law to have TikTok divested by its Chinese parent company ByteDance or face a ban in the United States. That particular law is also being challenged in court by both TikTok and the U.S. and by TikTok. And so when you look at that picture, that federal piece of the pie is going to also affect how TikTok and how their situation in each of these state courts is interpreted, without a doubt. So it could be that this lawsuit doesn't even see the light of day if TikTok is indeed banned from the United States, but that's another long legal battle that we expect to go on for quite some time and unlikely to hit the deadline of next year that was originally proposed by Congress. So there's a lot of moving pieces here. Everything moves very slow when it comes to suing these companies, but we do know that this is yet another major step, not just against TikTok, but we've also seen lawsuits against the parent company of Instagram and Facebook, Meta, and many others, facing more and more legal repercussions and challenges.
All right, Jolene Kent, thanks so much for breaking it all down, a bigger concept of all of this.